Hi, welcome to our Let's Play YouTube Hop, presented to you by Scrapbooking with Me Boutique and the wonderful design team members over there. Let me just go over real quick the hop rules. The first thing that you're going to need to do is to follow all of the videos in the YouTube hop, which are listed in the description bar down below. You can watch those videos in any order in which you choose. All the videos will contain a secret word. You will need to make note of this secret word because you will compose a comment. You will end up at the Scrapbooking with Me Boutique blog. You'll need to be subscribed to all of the design team members and all of the participants in the hop. You will also need to be a member of the boutique. So pretty easy. So my tutorial is on playing with paper and water, and I'm going to show you how to make some flowers. And also I did a mixed media piece, I guess a few months ago, that where I made a paper skirt, and I've had some requests on how I made that paper skirt, so I'm going to go over that real quick with you. Okay, so let me just show you what we're going to make. These 3 flowers. So I'm going to tell you what the supplies are. So let's talk about this first flower. Is made with simple circles, and you're going to need 1 circle for the base and 5 circles for the flower, and then your beads or whatever you want to use for the center. Then for this next flower, you are going to need 6 petal flowers, a large, a medium, a small. If you don't have a 6 petal die cut, I will link a tutorial down below on how you can cut a 6 petal flower out of paper with just scissors and paper. Also, if you have a Cricut machine or other die cutting machine, any 6 petal flower will work with this. And then we are going to make this flower, which is made from 2 large 4-petal flowers, 2 medium 4-petal flowers, and 2 small 4-petal flowers. I also will be using the Tim Holtz Distress Sprayer. I really like this spray bottle because it gives a fine mist. It is available on the boutique. However, if you don't have this, don't worry. You can use any spray bottle that you happen to have on hand. We're going to work on this circle flower. Okay, and so the first thing that you're going to do is go ahead and get your circles wet, and you don't want them soaking wet, because what we're going to do is we're going to break down and then reshape the fibers of the paper. I'm using Blue Fern Studios paper here, and I am using the Paisley and Vine collection. I've already done these. I'm using a old-fashioned clothespin, but you could use the end of a paintbrush, you could use the end of a pen, just anything that is round like this. And all I'm doing is going with the paper here and rolling that right along the edges of the paper to bring the paper up and around. And you know, you guys can get inspiration anywhere. There you go. You're going to do that to all 5 petals. I was at Michael's. I ran into these flowers right here, and I thought to myself, I think I could make that. You certainly could make this out of smaller circles. In fact, I think it might even be cuter. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to do is start gluing your petals down. I'm going to be using some fabric tape, and I'm just going to pick which flowers that I want to go where. And I'm just going to start placing them down on that. And I did kind of play around with the last one a little bit. And the centers are going to kind of flatten out, and that's totally fine. What I'm going to do is I've got some acrylic paint, and I'm going to dip my brush in that acrylic paint, wipe just a little bit of it off onto a napkin, and then I'm just going to go around the edges. And you guys can notice I'm not really being very neat. And then I'm just going to go back and just kind of pat that with my finger. Until I got the look that I wanted. And you know, you guys, I'm kind of funny. I like to make absolutely positive that the holes on my pearls are not facing up. I don't like to be able to see the holes on the pearls. Alright, and there you have it, the first flower. This next paper flower that we're working on, right here, you're going to want to spray and dampen your flower just like I did the last time, and just pat on the top of it. Now, take a pair of tweezers, and don't be afraid to really get in here. What you're going to do is on one side of the 4-petal flower, you're going to put the tweezer there, pinch it between your fingers, and twist it toward you. Okay? And then the other side of the flower, you're going to get it in there, pinch it, and turn it away from you. Okay? So I'm going to do that again. Put it on the petal, pinch it, turn it toward you. On the petal, pinch it away from you. Then when this dries, it's going to be really stiff. Okay, then you're going to do that to all of the petals, the medium ones too, but then the small ones you're going to do a little bit different than all the other flowers. We're just going to pinch and turn those petals one time. So, just pinch and turn. Now that that's done, we're going to take our tool that we've been working with, and we're just going to press in the middle to bring all those pieces up. Now that all those pieces are done, we're going to glue them together. Again, I'm going to use fabric tack. And just going to put a little dab down here in the center. And I'm going to alternate the petals. I'm going to use a large pearl as my center. As I bring around the petals a little bit. Okay, and then Just gonna kind of do the same thing that I did with the other flower, is that I'm going to get a little bit of it's called vanilla paint. Just kind of play with the petals until you get the look that you're looking for. And I think that looks just about right. I like the look of that. There again, you can just tweak it a little bit here and there, but I think that's about right. Okay, so next we're going to work on this flower, and it's really pretty easy. All we're going to do, and it's not really going to make a whole lot of difference in how we do this, but we're just going to take the petals on this and start at the end and just start snipping little pieces. And I'm making them very skinny, and as I get down where I can cut up toward the middle, I'm really cutting deep into that petal. I'm hoping that you can see this, and they're gonna bend every which way, and that's totally fine. I'm hoping that you can see that. I'm gonna go ahead and do one more. Alright, now that I have that done, I'm hoping that you can see that these cuts are deep into the petal of the flower. See, I'm hoping that you can see that. And you don't want to get them too terribly wet at all, because they're going to be fragile. Just barely get those wet. Then we'll take and move these back onto this. And this doesn't take much effort at all with these flowers. Is to just barely in the middle of that. You can kind of see how that goes. Just barely. It doesn't take much with this flower at all. And the reason that we get them wet is because when they dry, that paper reforms and they become really stiff. Now this one, I didn't use as thick of paper. This is just white cardstock, where these are done with the frolic paper. But still, the water, you can tell, helps them set. And then I'm just going to pop a center down on there. Just like so. And these flowers are pretty much going to dry however you have them shaped. And see, I think that flower would be absolutely beautiful in some Christmas colors too. So just to recap, I absolutely love how they turned out. I hope you did too. We'll make the dress in a moment. So on to making the skirt. Here again, going to spray some water on here. And then I'm just going to kind of cut a little bit of this off, and I'm sure I'll probably and then I'm just going to kind of pleat it a little bit. And here again, I'm not being perfect by any means. Just kind of getting it how I want it to be. You can take the end of a paintbrush or just something skinny just to kind of curl the ends under a little bit there, like so. And there you go. And then when you get your dress form, okay, and so you can see I have this little dress form here, and you can see how this will go. And I took some twine and tied it around here, tied a bow, put some little flowers right there, and you know, gather up some lace and just kind of put the skirt on top of it. And just kind of gather. Of course, you would glue this underneath the skirt, but I'm just trying to give you guys the general idea of how I created that skirt. And see, there you go. So I hope that gives you an idea of how I created it. Once you glue this down onto your canvas, it's really going to take the shape. Once this dries, you can shade it some with the paint like I did earlier, just by dabbing some paint on your little paintbrush and just by painting in the little creases right in here, and get your dress all fancied up. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this YouTube hop. I hope you guys will take the secret the secret word, which I have flashed up on the screen in this video, and I hope you guys will make a comment over on the blog and enter to win. Alright, until next time, thank you so much. Bye now.